Here's a continuation of the other episode. As they arrived at the training field, Ava clutched her stomach. What was that? You scared me. How can you just disappear and reappear like that? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle you, Alpha Edward replied with a small smile. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. Ava straightened up, shaking her head. We'll see about that. Then, with a grin, she added, all right, let's begin. Edward chuckled. Why are you so eager? Because I know you'll go easy on me, your new student. Ava teased with a mischievous glint in her eyes. Edward laughed softly, his amusement clear. Ava, already captivated by his face, couldn't help but stare, noticing her expression. Edward raised an eyebrow. Why is your face so red? He asked knowingly. Ava quickly fanned herself, feigning nonchalance. Oh, it's just ... Hot out here, that's all. With a wave of his hand, Edward magically transformed her robe into a warrior's outfit, mirroring the one he had just conjured for himself. You keep surprising me, Ava said, glancing down at her new attire. What do you expect from a tribrid? He replied with a smirk. Ava's eyes lit up with curiosity. Since I'm a hybrid, does that mean I can do some of the things you can? A little, he admitted, handing her a wooden sword as he summoned one for himself. But that depends on how hard you're willing to train. Let's see what I've got, Ava said, gripping the sword tightly. As their training began, Edward guided her, helping her focus on her inner energy. Surprisingly, Ava showed quick progress. Their movements became almost rhythmic, like a dance, their breaths mingling in the space between them. At one point, Ava noticed how close they had gotten and instinctively stepped back, losing her balance. She reached out, grabbing Edward's arm for support, but the sudden motion caused them both to tumble to the ground. Their lips accidentally brushed against each other, and time seemed to freeze. Their eyes locked, and Ava's breath hitched. Edward, ever composed, quickly pulled himself together and helped her to her feet. Ava avoided his gaze, her cheeks flushed. I think that's enough for today, Edward said softly. We should head back. Without another word, he teleported them back to the palace. As they reappeared, Prince Eric, Edward's twin brother, was waiting for them. Eric sneered, your mate is Lauren. And yet here you are playing with another lady. Ava frowned, staring between the two brothers. What does he mean? She asked Edward. Edward exhaled, rubbing the back of his neck. When I returned to the pack last year, the elders couldn't wait any longer for me to claim a mate. So, Lauren and I pretended to be mates. Ava's brows furrowed. What if she's in love with you? She blurted out. Edward shook his head. No, she isn't. She's in love with my brother. But he refuses to give her a chance. She's been a family friend for centuries. He used to like her, but a year ago, he started acting differently toward her. Ava folded her arms. So, who is your real mate? Edward smirked. If I tell you, will you stay quiet? Ava grinned. I doubt it. I ask a lot of questions, just ask my lecturers. They were always annoyed with me. Edward chuckled. All right then. You are my mate. My long-awaited mate. She nudged him playfully and laughed until she realized he was serious. Wait, how is that possible? She asked, stunned. Trickster told me my father was a lynx and my mother was a werewolf. I have both their bloodlines in me. And now you're saying I'm your mate. You're like 100 years older than me. Although you don't look it. And oh my gosh, this is too much. I need to lie down. Take me back, she groaned. Edward smirked. Told you, you'd ask more questions. Just take me back. She huffed. He was surprised when she wrapped her arms around his waist instead of holding his hand. Pressing her ear against his chest, she murmured, your heartbeat is so quiet. Do you guys even breathe? Before he could respond, he teleported them back to the corridor. As they materialized Eric again. Why is she here? And who is she? I ask again. Eric asked. Edward pulled Ava closer. She's my mate. Eric scoffed. How is that possible? I thought you already had a mate. Remember? You're half vampire, you don't age. You'll live for centuries while she. His smirk deepened as Ava's expression faltered. Ava's mind raced. If I give my heart to someone, it should be someone I can grow old with, someone I can have children with. Not a vampire who will never age. Edward's voice cut through her thoughts. Ava isn't just a normal human, she's special. She could bring you to your knees, begging for your life. So, Eric, excuse us. We have things to do. Ava blinked as Edward's words sank in. A small smile crept onto her lips. Maybe giving my heart to him wouldn't be such a bad idea, but I'll make him work for it. Ava grinned widely. Stop smiling like that. You look like a pig, Edward teased as they entered his room. Rubbish, Ava huffed, sitting on the bed. So, who was that guy? My twin brother, Edward replied. Ava's mouth fell open. Wow, Edward smirked, stepping toward her. She leaned back slightly, but he followed, his hands on either side of her as she fell back against the bed. He lowered himself closer, his lips mere inches from hers. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more. Click the like button, make sure to comment and share.